So let's jump to 3B, which is our half Buddha sequence, and learn how to use one leg loop at a time. This is incredibly therapeutic. We did a lot of arms in the last forward fold sequence. So let's go ahead and work with the hips. So I'm going to push the swing down nice and low, standing in the center of the mat. I use my forearms and then lean back. Whee! A little bit of trust. Walk it forward, all the way to the front of the mat. Heel toe wide into my Sumo, 10 and 2, and then I'm just going to drop. So I first really want to get the swing into the sweet spot, use my diamond arms, and then let's go for the right leg loop. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and hold on to the leg loop with both hands, and I'm going to lift. So this is our first lesson in learning how to activate our core and lift. Now I normally skip this in a beginner class and save it for like maybe the second or third time I see someone. And typically when they lift, I just say get your leg up there. But this is how we really do it. We straighten our arms, we pull the leg loop down strongly towards our navel, and then we lift our knee so our knee looks like it's touching. Okay? After we get the lift, we actually have to bring the knee out to the side to get the heel in there. And that's the part that most people miss, is they don't pull their knee out to the side and their foot doesn't fit. Right? So we want to make sure the knee flares out to the side, and then we straighten the leg. Now, Chillaxin arms is a great option, okay? And then if you want to use the forearm press, that's also good, but we want to keep the hips dropped, so your hips are still suspended, so just let the hips drop even more. Yeah, just that little bit. So that little inch is the difference between happy back or lower back pain, right? So think about pushing the pubic bone down and back, and feel the difference in pushing it forward. And so sometimes I will just undulate the pelvis in these poses, which looks like a Jane Fonda video, I know. But it's really important that we understand the difference between locked and released in the pelvis. And then the other pose I like to do is I call wagging the tail, is I just let the right foot explore in the space from side to side. And in this process, I'm lubricating the hip joint. There's a little bit more detail we go into with the Eric's program, but let's just wag the tail. Wag the foot. Awesome. And now from this position, we're going to come into a pigeon pose. So we're going to bend the knee in and grab the leg loop with one hand or both hands. So notice if you grab the leg loop with both hands, it's really intense on the underarm. So maybe left hand grabs right foot and right hand grabs. So left hand grabs right foot, yeah. And then right hand grabs the swing. And then I just like to rock. So I'm going to pull the foot towards my chest and just rock. So already that's like a nice deep stretch. And then from there I'm going to release the foot and I'm going to come into a quad stretch. So I'm going to turn it over, keep holding on. Yes. Turn the knee pointing down towards the ground and then hold on to the swing with your left hand just so you have a little bit of lift here. So the knee is going to point straight down. I'm going to square my hips to the side. And then my left foot's going to heel toe to wide center. That's perfect. Good. Now this is a big stretch. Sometimes I'll inhale, lift, and pull up. Give people a break, and then exhale, lower back down. So we're incorporating a little bit more Eric's into our AYP for this one. But it's
so good.
So good. I really enjoy helping to open up the hips, particularly the quads for our running friends, for our biking friends. They have a lot of tension through this whole front plane, and this stretch really helps to open that up. Okay, great. We're going to swing it back around, do-si-do your knee to the other side. Come on back to center, get the swing nice and low. Sometimes I'll just reset by pressing back into a supported back bend with that one leg extended. Both legs can be straight for this one. There you go. Perfect. Okay, great. Let's get into a little bit more core strengthening. So from here, this would be equivalent to like a side lunge when we bend the knee again. So the side lunge, that's what it says in the notes, side lunge. Right from here, I usually wag the tail. So I'm going to hold on to the other leg loop and just try that same movement. Let's just lift so we get the feeling of lifting. So maybe this is the only core activation that you do with a new person for a beginner practice, right? Pulling down straight arms, knee lifts, and that is pretty strong on activating both the middle, upper, and lower abdominals. Okay, and then from there we're going to release the leg loop. I call this knee to elbow. We're going to interlace our fingers behind the back of our head. And then we're just going to lift the knee towards the sky and twist. Bring your elbow towards your knee. And then inhale, expand. We're going to just arch and open. Keep leaning back the whole time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Good. Really strong, engaged right leg. So we are lifting the hips. Pull the knee up towards the sky. And then exhale. Lengthen. Inhale. Twist. And then exhale, let it go. All right, the next time we're going to inhale, lift the leg, touch the toes. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lengthen. So I'm still supporting my head with one hand. This is the plank toe touches, so keep your hips lifted the whole time. Right? And then come to a straight line plank. Yes! Toe touch. Plank. Toe touch. That's it. And then after our last toe touch, we're going to hook. So the leg, stays all the way up there and it hooks. So I like to continue to support my head with one hand or both hands. Just see if you can drop the hips for this one. That's the stretch, yes. And when we drop the hips, we're going to open up the IT band and the hamstring connection. Big opening through the side body. All right. So after we hook, we're going to twist. So our foot comes in between the leg loop and the swing. We're going to tee the legs into an L shape. We'll use the full alphabet here. And then hold on to the foot if we can. Good. Bring that back around. And we're going to go right into hammock. So we're going to, I like to X, going through the alphabet still, I like to X the leg loop to cushion the ankles. And then let both of them just sit. So now in hammock pose, I can just lean back and hang out, which is really nice. Or we also have this extra leg loop that we can incorporate. So I'm going to put that behind my head. And this is a great neck stretch. So I like to let it cover the full length of the ears. And then I either drop my hips or lift my hips depending on what feels good. Yeah. So I keep my chin tucked into my chest just to keep the cervical spine happy. Good. And then after I stretch the back of the neck, I'm going to put the leg loop on like a t-shirt, gathering it underneath my arms so it's doubled up behind my back. And then I can really lean back into a supported back bend, even deeper. Now my hands can be extended up to the sides if I feel comfortable. So you get to find your favorite position, whatever feels good. This is kind of like a rest pose. You can use this as a therapeutic, restorative for a back bend as well. Reach up, grab for the swing, grab for the leg loop, and transition it back towards the neck. And then bring up here one more time. See if you can hold on to the top of the leg loop and just give yourself some variations. Sometimes twisting the hips from side to side, lifting them and dropping them will change the stretch of the neck. The neck is usually kind of sensitive for people, so I always tell them to take it easy. Only do what feels good. But yeah, the swing can spread out a little bit for more comfort there too. And then we're ready for second side. The leg loop's going to come off. We can hold those for a lot longer in a class. 5 minutes in the hammock usually feels good. You're like, well, we just got in. So now we're going to switch sides. So let's switch in the air, floating Buddha. So we put the leg loops on both ankles. If you want to give the swing a little hop to adjust, that's also an option. I hold on, I lift, and then I come on back down. And that's a nice way to relieve the upper back and just give it a different position. Let's release the right hand, and I'm going to do my choo-choo on this side. So release the right leg loop, holding onto it with your hand, and then I'm going to lift the knee. So just a different variation we did before. So knee lift, come down, knee lift, come down. So that would be really easy core, right? Even easier than the one we did with the leg loop. Let's come back to our half sumo squat, release the leg loop, use the forearm press and leg. Second side, we'll go through the same sequence. Feel free to ask any questions if something comes to mind. So yeah, we're lubricating the hip joint here, we're keeping the chest lifted, the hips are heavy, and we're just seeing if we can get a little bit more space for both the IT band and the adductors, so the hamstring can open too. All the tight spots, then we're going to bend the knee in, hold on to the foot and the leg loop, and we're coming into a half pigeon. Okay, pulling the foot towards our sternum. And then we're going to turn it over. Keep holding on to the leg loop and then pointing the knee down towards the ground. I like to keep the knee bent. Let's try it one more time. You're really flexy, but for some people, the knee has to stay safe. So we hold on to the leg loop the whole time. And then we turn the knee in, knee bent, and then point down. That's it. And that way it stays safe. Keep holding on. Hold on the whole time. There you go. Cool. And now the front hand, the right hand can reach for the swing. I like to move my right toes to wide center on the mat, and my hips are squaring to the side. Okay? You can inhale, lift, come on out. Exhale, lower. There you go. So bicep curl with both hands. Right? So inhale, lift. That's it. That's it. Exhale, lower. Good. That's it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, let ourselves drop down. And the next time we inhale, lift, we're turning it all the way around. Oh, back into our side lunge. Nice and easy and safe. If we wanted to take a break, I'm going to straighten both legs and do a supported back bend. A little sway from side to side might feel good to reset. Excellent. Okay. So from here, I want to do more of the core activation. So if we were going to do the knee lift with the leg loop, I'm going to hold on with both hands, pull the knee straight up. As say, I'm pulling the leg loop down towards my navel. So if there's a strong engagement through the arms, so the upper abdominals get activated here, which makes it very challenging. But this is how we get the leg lifts on. So we want to learn how to lift our own leg. Really important. And then we're going to release that, press back into Chillaxin arms, lift the knee towards the sky, and come into a knee to elbow. And then inhale, let's switch the breath, lengthen, exhale, squeeze. Feel the difference, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Good. So we lean back the entire time, even here to stretch the belly. Exhale, squeeze. Next time we lift, we're going to do straight leg toe touches. Inhale, lengthen, plank. Exhale, toe touch. Good. Lean back a little bit more. Yeah, so the head is in line with the body. So yeah. So let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, touch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Toe touch, and then keep the leg all the way up there and hook. There you go. Hook. So now we're dropping the hips. We can support the head with our hands if we need, but I really want the hips to drop towards the ground to get this nice stretch through the IT band. It's a big stretch, so we just hang out here and let that happen. Sometimes leaning back can help, but we also want to make sure the hips stay heavy. People tend to lift the hips to get out of the stretch, so we want the weight of the body to let gravity do the work. Yeah. That happens. Okay, so from here we're going to come into our twist, so the foot goes in between the swing and the leg loop, and then we're going to come into an L shape with the legs. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab for the back of the knee, the calf, the toes, wherever we can reach. Keep the hips lifted, and add a twist. This is a big twist, so only do it if it feels good. Come on back around and land it into a half sumo. Now we could go right into our hammock pose from there. So let's spread the swing out a little bit more and prepare for that. You can just kind of pull the edge down and sway from side to side. Last pose of the sequence is the Xing of the leg loop, getting the ankles stacked. And once we're stacked, we can just lean back. Now in our hammock pose, we have this extra leg loop that's fun to use behind the head and then also behind the upper back. So we're first going to stretch the neck by spreading it out. It feels really good on the cervical spine as long as the neck is happy. Great. 5 deep breaths here, slowing it down. Practice pushing the hips up and then dropping them down. And see, where does your body like to hang out? Everybody's a little different. I like pushing my hips up because it gives me a little bit of a deeper tractioning on the neck. But you have to find what feels good for your body. There is some play in there. And then we're going to switch to putting that leg loop behind the heart. So we put it on like a t-shirt and support the head and neck. We can come into a supported back bend, arms extended for the full expression. So I'm going to show you this cross-leg position, which is really fun too. You're just going to bend your knees out to the side and let your legs cross like you're sitting like Indian style. Yeah. And so if there's need for room, like if you have a lot of people in class or you just want to make another variation, you can always bend the knees, which is just so cool. That's a good stretch. Yeah. Okay, we're going to reach up, hold on to the leg loop with our hands. Transition it back to the neck. Nice and easy. Nice and slow. And then I like to hold on to the leg loop and then just play with what does it feel like to twist, to drop the hips, to press them up. Just add some variations. Just make sure the neck is in a good place. Chin into chest protects the cervical spine. And then we can release that leg loop, come back to either Sumo or floating Buddha. So normally we would have just finished floating Buddha, so we're going to come back through our Sumo and then take a little break here. Okay, we always stay seated to take the leg loops off. A lot of people will come to stand with one leg loop still on, and that's the only time that it feels unsafe to me, because then they start hopping around trying to get that extra leg loop off. We always want to make sure both legs are free before we come to stand. Beautiful. To come out, we're going to hold on to the swing and walk back. Pendulum in and out, and then come on up. That was all of the half Buddha sequence. Half Buddha. So yeah, we go